Nile Valley Ultra-Terrestrial Radio, representing Nile Valley Ultra-Terrestrial Cosmic Network, along with Nile Valley Institute and the Nile Valley Scrolls, broadcasting on the ARC frequency, telepathically searching for signs of life. The title of this Nile Valley Ultra-Terrestrial Radio broadcast happens to be HRU'TET, DJED of AUSAR. Introduction. Reawakening of the Jetwa. Thursday, 12/17/15. HRU'TET. On the YouTube channel, we posted the most recent Nile Valley Ultra-Terrestrial Radio broadcast, HRU'TET, DJED of AUSAR, Wednesday, 12/16/15. We had spoken of the most recent Star Wars movie, The Force Awakens, being a coded message, also being a cosmic reflection of the cosmic war that is now taking place within also the minds of everyone, being everywhere across the global environment. And that movie also being a warning in reference to the reawakening of us, the ultra-terrestrial, illuminated, original Jetwa Cometians, referred to as the so-called Black African Egyptians, being also the specific reason why a so-called African male is one of the main characters in that movie. Today also I was divinely guided to a so-called alternative news report in reference to the most recent Star Wars movie, The Force Awakens, being a frightening resemblance to modern-day America. We have also reposted the following comments for you to also think deeply about, further confirming also what has most recently been presented by Nile Valley Ultra-Terrestrial Radio in reference to the most recent Star Wars movie, The Force Awakens, having also hidden coded messages for the very few individuals that are mentally and spiritually awake. Listen deeply and carefully to these following comments. We, the elite, think you are idiots. Sure, we are prideful, vain, powerful, and greedy. And sure, we deceive and lie and promote your ignorance. And so what? If you are too dumb, too stupid, or too self-involved to protect yourself against us, you deserve to be manipulated, used, and abused. And we think it is very funny that we can get away with it. We have been getting away with it for generations. Hell, we even forecast our plans through TV series and Hollywood movies, and you think it happens to be entertainment. Beasts who walk upside also down. It has been said by various individuals that I do not listen. After going into deeper meditation, I realized they are correct because I refuse to listen specifically to also them. I have no interest whatsoever toward listening to backwards, recycled information presented by individuals repeating what has been said by the beasts who walk upside down, presenting that recycled, backwards, and pseudo misinformation. 98% of the information being presented on the internet is based on intentional misinformation, and Nile Valley Ultra-Terrestrial Global Intelligence presents accurate information that is far beyond the lack of comprehension of those wayward individuals. We shall now comment briefly on pseudo-cultural vampires. Know thyself, and to thine own self be true, is an ultimately important, significant, and valuable mantra being directed toward our ultimate protection and well-being. Our divine utopian ultra-terrestrial illuminated original Cometian Jetwa protection and well-being. In order for us to be true also toward ourselves, it becomes ultimately necessary for us to know ourselves. Various groups of backwards thinking, culturally illiterate, and hostile, mean-spirited individuals have repeatedly said, names are irrelevant and insignificant. If that statement had credibility, and that were so, why also has all references toward our ultra-terrestrial illuminated original Cometian Jetwa culture been systematically also erased from public record? That was done to severely damage our collective self-esteem. Also, the Moors from North Africa have been acknowledged inaccurately with bringing cultural enlightenment also to the overall European species. The Moors went into Spain and England instead, 700 to 1491, and reintroduced those two countries to the ultra-terrestrial illuminated original Cometian culture. There are various groups of Melkite Coptic Negroes that have been attempting to give the credit also to the so-called Moors for introducing cultural enlightenment being extended to Europeans, when in fact it was the ultra-terrestrial illuminated original Cometians who did this, happening centuries before that. Each and every individual listening to also this Nile Valley ultra-terrestrial radio broadcast should be continuously extending your ultimate mental, spiritual, and financial support also to Nile Valley Institute. Go to nile-valley-network.blogspot.com. When the Nile Valley Scroll, HRU'TET, DJED of AUSAR, appears, you can scroll down to the bottom of the page and click the PayPal hyperlink, extending your financial pledges. You can also go to Facebook to Ark Lord Imhotep, IMHOTEP, to express and record your comments of mental and spiritual support and alliance to Nile Valley Ultra-Terrestrial Cosmic Network. On the YouTube channel, you can go to our Utopian Dreams music channel, UTOP'-ION Dreams, DREAMS, and listen to the original Divine Utopian musical sketches from our first and second album, written, arranged, recorded, produced, and informed by our musical collective Utopian Dreams, UTOP'-ION Dreams, DREAMS. I can also be contacted at Lord Amen Ra, that's AMEN, Lord Amen Ra at yahoo.com. I now say again, each and every individual that is listening to also this Nile Valley Ultra-Terrestrial radio broadcast should also be continuously extending your ultimate mental, spiritual, and financial support also to Nile Valley Institute. Greece is referred to as the foundation of all European pseudo-culture. All Greek and European pseudo-cultural references were copied, plagiarized, adapted, synthesized, and recycled from the ultra-terrestrial, illuminated, original Cometian culture. We have reposted the following information for you to read and think deeply about. When Europe colonized Kemet, it also colonized the language used to speak about Kemet. Thus, at also the very beginning of Greek domination of Cometian interpretation, one finds the name of Kemet is changed to Egypt. A Cometian original becomes, in the writing of the Greeks, a Greek epithet. Subsequently, the appropriation of Cometian cultural forms, places, and concepts referred to as being Shennu, Bennu, Tekken, Hormarket, Waset, Nenefer, and Neb-Ankh. Europe claims these to be instead Cartouche, Phoenix, Obelisk, Sphinx, Thebes or Luxor, Memphis and Sarcophagus, and thousands of other terms disrupted the common understanding of Cometian realities. This was not simply a process that infected thinking about ancient Kemet. It was an ordinary process of European control. Cities in Kemet lost also their Cometian original names, only to be reintroduced with European pseudonames. Rakastus became Alexandria, named after so-called Alexander the Great. Harar became Salisbury, and so forth, where Cometian ultra-terrestrial names had seemed to be difficult for Europeans to pronounce. They gave completely new ones, being, for an example, Leopoldville, Stanleyville, and Elizabethville. Natural formations lost also their Cometian ultra-terrestrial names as Europe colonized mental territories also. I now say again to those individuals that have repeatedly said that names are insignificant and irrelevant, and I ask you the same question again. If that be so, why did all references toward our divine utopian, ultra-terrestrial, illuminated, original Cometian Jetwa culture become systematically erased from public record? I ask that you think deeply on that. In the segment titled Betrayal of Divine Trust, I had repeatedly said among the former Jetwa Council of Elders members at Nile Valley Institute, most definitely there has to be divine trust resonating among us always. Except for one Jetwa Council of Elders member, all of the other Jetwa Council of Elders members betrayed my divine utopian trust, placed also toward them. One by one, each and every one of them, along with also their families, have been experiencing overwhelming devastation, being only the beginning. One among them being the leader of a demonically and crazed, also possessed, diabolical, evil feminist group, had also declared an undercover secret cosmic war against specifically our ultra-terrestrial, illuminated, original Cometian Jetwa family. That individual repeatedly and blatantly also lied about what actually had taken place. We had been previously deeply haunted by the cosmic echoes of the individuals that became pulled into and under the demonic influence of that individual. questioning indirectly our credibility. I say again, those individuals that became pulled into and under the demonic influence of that individual cacodemon agent began questioning indirectly our credibility. Now, the divine cosmic wrath of Sekhmet is being also brought down on that demonically crazed and incredibly stupid individual and that entire diabolical, evil, demonic, feminist group. They are now all experiencing unexplained, overwhelming, devastating and frightening divine retribution at every turn, based on divine retaliation initiated by Sekhmet. Each and every individual that is listening to this Nile Valley ultra-terrestrial radio broadcast should also be continuously extending your ultimate mental, spiritual, and financial support also to Nile Valley Institute. Go to Nile-Valley-Network.blogspot.com. That's one word, or should I say, all of these words are connected together. No spaces in between. Nile-Valley-Network.blogspot.com. And when the Nile Valley Scroll, HRU'TET, DJED of AUSAR, appears, you can scroll down to the bottom of the page and click the PayPal hyperlink to extend your financial pledges. You can also go to Facebook to Ark Lord Imhotep. That's IMHOTEP, to express your divine utopian comments of alliance, encouragement, and support. On the YouTube channel, you can go to our Utopian Dreams music radio channel. That is UTOP'-ION-DREAMZ, and listen to specifically our divine utopian musical sketches, written, arranged, recorded, produced, and performed by our divine utopian musical collective, Utopian Dreams, UTOP'-ION Dreams, DREAMZ. I can also be contacted at Lord Amen Ra. That's AMEN, Lord Amen Ra at yahoo.com. I now say again that each and every individual that is listening to this Nile Valley ultra-terrestrial radio broadcast should also be continuously extending your ultimate mental, spiritual, and financial support also to Nile Valley Institute, NVI. There are those incredibly backwards, mentally and spiritually desolate individuals that have been repeatedly saying the Vampire Federation of European Secret Societies have complete and total control over whatever we do in every area of our lives. Each and every time that I have listened to that foolishness, nonsense, and those incredibly subversive comments, I have thought about also the various divine utopian references that we have been divinely guided to, firmly showing us and confirming that we can ultimately defend ourselves in a collective manner successfully to defeat whatever diabolical evil that is being attempted to be initiated against us by the Vampire Federation of European Secret Societies, that can be repeatedly also defeated and transcended by us, the ultra-terrestrial, illuminated, original Cometian, Jedwa, brother and sisterhood. And now, extend a divine utopian reference to the movie The Time Machine that was written during the year 1897 by H.G. Wells, that was released also during the 1960s. H.G. Wells was a member of the Vampire Federation European Secret Societies, and the movie Time Machine is a documentary disguised as entertainment. In that movie, there is a group of so-called alien creatures referred to as Morlocks or Morlocks. And all of the slaves in the movie are specifically Europeans that have blonde hair and blue eyes. Each day there is a community alarm that goes off, and all of the individuals walk into entrances that lead to underground facilities, and different individuals are selected to be eaten by the Morlocks. The main character, who appears in the Time Machine, gathers those individuals together and tells them it is better for them to fight whatever the consequences may be than to just wait for themselves to be physically eaten by the Morlocks and grossly mishandled and disrespected and mistreated. When a group among the blue-eyed, blonde-haired Europeans have been pushed beyond their limit, suddenly keeping in mind what had been said to them about revolution, they revolted and to their unexpected surprise and astonishment, none of the Morlocks were able to fight back because they never anticipated in their deepest imagination the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Europeans or the slaves would rise up in revolution against and toward them, and they were defeated. In the secret documents in reference to the Vampire Federation of European Secret Societies, it has been repeatedly said that if the Goyim, referred to as the global mass population, specifically the American mass population, should ever rise up against and toward them, it would be a tragedy because they would be defeated and also destroyed by the Goyim. This has also been said and acknowledged among the Vampire Federation of European Secret Societies. This is why those individuals that have repeated the mantra of their own self-perpetuated mental, spiritual, and physical doom, I have become ultimately suspicious of, and I keep as much distance between those individuals and myself and my family as possible, because it has reoccurred to me often. Divine word is extended to us, obviously, to alert and warn us of what is coming, to allow also us to prepare and be far ahead of the demonic waves that are unleashed across the global environment. We shall continue to hold on ultimately to this perspective, regardless of whatever subversion, propaganda, and illusions that are continuously repeated by those individuals that have already mentally and spiritually perished, waiting for their physical doom. Each and every individual listening to also this Nile Valley ultra-terrestrial radio broadcast should also be continuously extending your ultimate mental, spiritual, and financial support also to Nile Valley Institute NVI. Go to Nile-Valley-Network.blogspot.com, and when the Nile Valley Scroll, HRU'TET, DJED of AUSAR, appears, scroll down to the bottom of the page and click the PayPal hyperlink to extend your financial pledges. You can go also to Facebook, to Ark Lord Imhotep, IMHOTEP, to express your ultimately appreciated comments of alliance, encouragement, perspectives and support. On the YouTube channel, go to Utopian Dreams, UTOP''ION Dreams. And to listen to the original musical sketches, written, arranged, recorded, produced, and performed by our divine utopian, ultra-terrestrial, original Cometian, Jedwa musical collective, Utopian Dreams. That is UTOP''ION DREAMZ. I can also be contacted at Lord Amen Ra at yahoo.com. That's AMEN, Lord Amen Ra at yahoo.com. I now suggest and remind each and every individual, keep in mind the title of this Nile Valley ultra-terrestrial radio broadcast, HRU'TET, DJED of AUSAR, has multiple coded and hidden symbolic, divine, utopian, esoteric, powerful component meanings. For example, the word Jedwa is an extension of the word Jed, being the Jed of AUSAR. You see, HRU'TET, Jed of AUSAR. And the word Jed was adapted and plagiarized and turned into the word Jedi. Jed to Jedi. You see, the Jedi Knights. We, the divine utopian ultra-terrestrial, original Cometian, Jedwa, brothers and sisters, are the original Jedi. And I remind you again, the Jed was used to channel and receive electromagnetic energy from the magnetic planetary field. You see, Jed towers, channeling electricity into homes, anti-gravity spacecraft, computers, and all various types of advanced technology that existed and flourished in ancient Kemet when the so-called European species were dwelling in caves thousands of years ago. This is why all references toward our divine utopian ultra-terrestrial illuminated original Cometian Jedwa culture had been systematically erased from public record. Think deeply on this. And I now say again that Nikola Tesla was given the credit of inventing and presenting so-called free energy to the world, when in fact all he did was plagiarize the use of basically the Jed of AUSAR. The Jed of AUSAR. Now, how difficult is that for you to comprehend and to understand? However, for you see, the mean-spiritedness, jealousy, and hostility is off the cosmic scale toward us, the ultra-terrestrial, illuminated, original Cometian Jedwa. And you do not want in your mean-spirited, hostile, backwards, upside down thinking to hear this original information from Jedwa, Dragon, Ark Lord, Shechem, Amen, HRU'TET, Imhotep. Say to each and every individual that is listening to this Nile Valley ultra-terrestrial radio broadcast, you should be continuously extending your ultimate mental, spiritual, and financial support also to Nile Valley Institute NVI in reference to the reawakening of the Jedwa that is coded in the movie, the Star Wars movie, The Force Awakens. What it is now actually saying, this is the reawakening of us, the ultra-terrestrial, illuminated, original Cometian Jedwa Hotep.